Okay, so I'm going to start painting the undercarriage. That includes the wheels, hubs, oleo legs, and also the radiators. Now, anything that I'm going to be spraying silver, initially I'll give a coat of black. It makes the black stand out a lot more prominently. So that'll be the radiator faces, the wheel hubs themselves, and the oleo legs, which are over here on their little stands. So I'll give it a coat of black first, and then we'll give them a coat of silver. Now my black of choice is going to be, because the tyres are obviously going to be rubber black, I'll just use rubber and tyres black, and it's just a very dark grey really. This is a Mk.XVIII colour. It sprays straight from the bottle. It's not too bad. It will suffice for what I need, and yeah, we'll get it sprayed up and see how we look. To make holding the tyres a lot easier, I think what I'll do on the flat spot here, I think I'll just drill a wee hole just so I can insert a wooden toothpick just to hold it. So we'll do a few turns of the old drill. And then what we can do, we can grab a toothpick, insert inside, and there we go. Gives it perfect holder for the wheel. Now I'll do that with the other one, and I'll get spraying. See you shortly. Okay, so we'll start off by spraying the tyres, tyre black. Nice straightforward. Just take the flow first, and away we go. Again, coming out from all the angles. Do the faces of the radiators black, some I paint them silver. They'll help let them to pop a little better, a little bit more. After I'd mixed my silver paint, and for my paint I used Citadel colour base lead belcher, I proceeded to spray the oleo legs, the radiator faces and the wheel hubs with this silver mixture. Now I wasn't concerned that my base black colour wasn't a gloss colour, because I didn't really want it to be particularly shiny or pronounced. However, it still gives a nice base colour for the silver to apply to, and it does give that nice depth of colour as well. Once I was satisfied that all the parts that required coat of silver paint had been done, I then set about applying the masks. Now here I think I should call myself the very lazy modeler rather than the very average modeler, because it would have been very easy for me just to use masking tape to mask off the transparencies and wheels. However, I did happen to have the Eduard masking set EX885 for the Spitfire Mk.XVIII. So I thought, why not? I'll utilise that instead. So I went around and I masked the wheels and the canopies in preparation for painting later on. Then once the wheels have been masked, I set about masking the front windscreen of the Spitfire. And once I'd done that, I masked the canopy itself. And again, on the canopy, to fill the gaps between the masking tape and the exposed plastic, I just simply use Humbrol masking fluid. Now, one thing I will say is don't leave the masking fluid on for any extended periods of time. By that I mean days and weeks. It doesn't react too well. It can cause the plastic to fog, and I've had instances in the past where it's lifted. So just be wary that really, if you're going to apply the masking fluid, to really spray it and use it in a fairly short period of time. Yeah, like I said, I've had it lift on me and cause fogging and crazing of the clear plastic. Once you have all the masks applied to the windscreen or the main canopy, it's always a good idea, well, I think, just to use your finger, just to try and burnish it down onto the plastic to make sure you got a nice, clean, straight edge. So when you do come to paint, you're not going to get any seepage of paint going underneath the masking tape and obviously ruining the canopy. However, if you find that you do get a wee bit of seepage, it's not the end of the world, because the paints that I use are acrylic paints, and you can use a sharpened wooden toothpick with a little dampener in a drop of water, and you can scrape away any paint that does become misplaced. So you can achieve a nice straight edge even if you do have a wee bit of seepage. But the name of the game here is to try and alleviate any chances of underspray or overspray. I don't know what you really call it. So when you do come to demask it, you have very little work to do. And here I'm just applying the final masks to the main canopy. And as you can see, the actual masking tape themselves are very long and very, very thin. And they do have a real tendency to curl back on themselves. But the patience is the name of the game here. So just take your time, align the tape as best you can. If you're not happy, it's not the end of the world. You can always take it off and reapply. But just be sure that when you do take it off, not to stretch it. But a bit of patience, steady hand, you'll find you can get a superb finish whilst using the Eduard masking sets. You'll find they're very well produced and they are cut very, very accurately. So really, it is a no-brainer when it comes to doing things like glazing, because they just make life so much more easier. And the results you can achieve really are very, very, very good. Hi everybody, well that's it for episode 3. I didn't get as far as I would have liked, however the Spitfire is now ready for paint, in as much as I've cleaned all the seams as best I can. I'm going to give her a coat of Mr. Surfacer 1200 just to highlight any blemishes that may be there. Once that's dried, I'll sand it back nice and lightly under a light, just examine it. Then once I'm happy with that, I'll start spraying in earnest, and when I do that, obviously I'll record my progress. Well, once again, thank you so much for joining me. Have a great rest of your week, and I'll see you all very, very, very soon. Cheers now. Take care. Bye bye.